Well, hello. Paul here from PABrewNews. We're going to do another one, I guess. People seem to like this, so I guess I'll just do another one. I was thinking about maybe just one a week, but I don't know. People seem to really enjoy it, so I figured I'd try to pop one out today. Um, Move the camera, no music, and try to hopefully have it a little easier to hear me, but unfortunately, because of the fact that I have to turn and I don't have a lapel mic, you might not hear me so much. Drinking right now, I'm drinking a Brew Rebellion by John Paul Jones White Chocolate Raspberry Stout from San Bernardino, California. Okay, let's talk about what we're doing today. Right now, kind of looks like I have a painting up already, but it's black gesso, made it kind of a tree shape. Let it dry. Then I put a little bit of oil all over the canvas, a very thin coat of liquid clear oil, and then just put some blue on top of that. So I'm kind of starting off with a treated palette, unlike last time where the canvas was just kind of bare and I did my stuff. So anyway, that's what we're doing. And again, we're gonna try to work with minimalistic, maybe 3 brushes at the most. Pretty much 3 brushes at the most. So, what we're going to try to do is have light kind of coming through and have a backlight and then have the darker forefront. Hey, we're going to give it a go. We're going to give it a go. Doesn't mean we're going to succeed, but we're going to give it a go. So, right over this, we're just going to start exiting it out. And some, unfortunately, I'm very loud with my taps, so we're just gonna give it a go and see if we can make this work. Sometimes you have to reapply quite a bit, depending on what layer of oils and whatnot that you put on. You just kind of want to white out the area. And you can put as much white and make it as bright or as dark as you want to. It's not a big deal. It's all about, see, if you work it around and work it around and work it around, it'll just go back to blue after a bit. Because that's the thing. It doesn't matter if you work it in here, work it anywhere. Just get that almost a mist going. And you can even, if you wanted to, you could tap this and just shoot it. It would almost look like sunlight kind of coming through. Let it just burn out the background. With all that sun kind of coming through, it almost burns out the background. If you're in the woods, kind of looking out of the woods, that's what I see when I'm in the woods, so that's what I'm kind of going for right now. And if you get it over the tree, that's perfectly fine, because we're going to be going over that. We're going to be going over the tree anyway, so it's perfectly fine. I like it easy painting, easy, simple painting. I think everyone can do this one. Hopefully it works out for me. There we go. We have a nice blurred out background now. Kind of just fades away. There we go. So we're just going to keep this brush. Okay. So now we have that nice background, and we're just going to keep going. Mixed up a little bit of lavender color. I'm going to tap that in there. Use the same brush. Might have to add a little bit to it because you just want to make sure that you have what you consider to be the right color. I think that a little bit more white for that would probably work pretty dang well. There. You just want to make some soft, just pressing down with the corner of the brush. Just want to make some soft. Soft. Soft, soft bushes in the distance. Even some soft, work up some bushes in the background. There you go. Once you have that layer done, then you can get a little bit more vigorous and a little bit more darker as you go. And you can just play that light and dark, light and dark, light and dark. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to just play light and dark. That's the whole point. Try to think a little bit about shape and form when you make these. Okay. Let's sort of firm some of these up a little bit more. Okay, pretty much something like that. Okay. Now we're going to get our little script liner brush. There you go. Pop this into a little bit of paint thinner. We want to thin it down. Use a little bit of that color that we just were using, and I'll show you why. Get it nice and thin, and then right in the back you want to start coming up, making little nuancy branches in the back, building a background. Just softly, subtly do that. Add a little bit more. You can build a couple here and there. Then, after you get those done, just get into a little bit of a darker color. Alright, there you go. Then you can actually start building the foreground. Let some of these dooders stick out. Some kind of pull from these leaves down here. Some of those kind of from the ground. And it just kind of builds the idea of nice little layers of what you do. And make sure they're all straight. Trees, not all trees are destined to be telephone poles, so get them. Make them wiggle and jiggle, and just, there you go, something like that. Something you can build off of. Then what we want to do is we want to take a little cleaner brush and go back into just some little bit of that white, more white than anything. Just tap the corner of it right into white. All right. Give this a go. Tap, 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 tap. Then, excuse me, we're going to have to start forming the highlights on some of these, because the sun's going to be zipping right through there, whiten out everything, and you're just going to see these accents. Now this is really where you need to start thinking about form and shape of your bushes. Now the ones that are further out, like this, they're going to get a little bit more of that white. Okay? They're going to get those those rays of sunshine are really going to be zipping through. So they're just going to get pressed down with the corner. Simple, easy, simple. Leave some of the dark though. Don't just hit everything. Leave it a little bit layered. There you go. Something like that. Right. Now, what you want to do, you're getting a little bit further in. Just tap some of that white. A little bit of blue. Blue it up. Get a little cooler. There you go. And you want to just accent that. There we go. There it is. Okay. Don't be afraid to really give it to the blue. If it's just everything's kind of blending together, you need some little bit of definition. There, something like that. It's just a little bit of a background. These are the furthest away from that big sun. Now we're just going to go to the other side. We're going to kind of do the same deal. We're going to get into a nice little white color here. And we're going to go to this side. We're just going to start softly tapping and defining what is getting burnt out on this side. Just give nuances at first. Just softly kind of just tap, build something as you go. Tap it in, tap it in. Tap, 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 tap. Then you can start tapping harder, building a little bit more. Just tapping down. You can build a bush by tapping vertically. Don't be afraid of this. Just do whatever. Because I'm just kind of winging it too. So, I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. Just kind of doing what I think is right. And again, we'll just move into our little bit of a liner brush. Get some of that white color. Just zip on up, build some nuances way in the back. Okay, now we're going to get a little darker, a little bit darker, and darker, 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 darker. And sometimes you have to get it nice and dark where it's not going to show up very well unless you really, there you go, really give it to it with the dark color. Alright. There's one. Right there. Oof, big one. Alright. And there's no wrong way to do this. Absolutely none. So don't worry about it. Don't let fear stop you from jumping in and trying this. And everything you do that's darker and darker will push everything else you did back into the background rather. And you'll give it more and more of that depth that the painting needs. Again, we're just going to go right through this white, pull and tap through this white, and we're just going to accent. Tapping downward. To reload the brush. Just like that. Then we can get a little bit darker like we did before. Alright. Now we're going to get a little bit crazy now, because we're going to get that little blue character we just had. Okay, we're going to accent that. Little accents. Okay. Little quick, just like we did before, that dark color. You can even get into a little black if you need to get it dark enough. Just to throw a couple more up. Just to get a couple to show through. Okay. Then here's the fun part. And then we're going to start going into a little bit that blue on it. The blue that we just had. We're going to go right into a yellow, which will give us a beautiful green color. Blue and yellow is green. You even get a little bit of touch of the blue. Drop it in there to get it a little bit more of a duller green. You even get sap green in there. Okay. Okay, now we're going to start getting to some actual color. We're going to start dropping, there we go, some actual green leaf free right here. Drop some in, which is really hard to do from this side. But it's the same deal, same concept. Start doing that. Alright, there we go. Now, one final time, get into this. We're going to use, and then don't be afraid of using a little lighter color once things get a little bit dark, because that just pops right out. It's all about playing dark on light. That's the whole point. That's the trick. Playing dark on light. So don't be afraid of, if you wanted to, put some, see, look at that. Some of that doesn't even stand out. So you have two options. You can either go right to the black, get it real dark, or you can get it into a bluish white to stick out. Like I said, I'm just doing this, winging it, so hopefully it works out, because I hate to talk to you guys this much and find out, hey, you're an idiot, but whatever, that's alright. As long as I'm having fun doing it, just thinning down some black paint. I'm going to give black a go, see if black stick out. There it goes. Gotta get this paint as thin as ink to really come off. It's a real trick. You gotta get it just the right consistency, and then it'll work for you. Then it'll work for you. Just like that. Now, I think personally, the way that looks, I like this. Putting a little bit of a lighter color there. Just a little bit of a lighter color. Just zip it through, you know? No big deal. Okay, so now we have the background pretty much done on both sides. Let's focus on getting that tree taken care of. Now all we're going to do, we already have the black gesso and everything on it. No big deal. Just going to go through some browns and a mixture of red and brown. No big deal. Get it all on there. Cover the brush. All you're going to do is kind of follow where the tree was. and make the noises. It's good for it. It really does. Helps it. Helps it along. Get some more. The next one. There you go. Get it in there and wiggle and jiggle it and kind of form and get that thing going. You're just kind of painting in where you had the tree, the base of the tree. Now this one, right down here, and big bump and jiggles and wiggles. Oh, there it goes. There you go. Just kind of fill in the middle. And anything you don't get, no big deal, because you already had the black gesso on there. Now we're going to take a little bit of white. Get some white in there. Not too white, because the sun is behind the tree. So you don't want this to get too bright. And then you just bump and wiggle and jiggle and hit and work and get this here and here and, you know, and just kind of wiggle it around and make it work for you. And don't be afraid to move it and slide it and work down that way and work down that way and things like that, and just hit it and pop it, wiggle it, smooth it out a little bit now and again, and then there you go. And that's a really easy and effective way to make just a big old tree right in the middle of what you're doing. So there we go. There's that. Now we can work around it. Now we can get to the fun part. So now we're just going to get more of that yellow and green. Tap it, pull it, tap it. And just tap it right into there. Now we're just going to look at it and just start making the lay of the land, following the roots that you just made. You can just make the lay of the land. All right? Something you want to keep it a little bit on the dark side. On the dark side. There. Now just following the roots. You can make a little. Make a hill on this side that comes down. And don't kill all your dark. Absolutely don't kill all your dark. Let some of that stay. Let some of that play. Right here. And you can make this when you're tapping this in, you can make it very blatant or you can make it as smooth as silk. Just all up to you, whatever you want. Even make a little tree there. Go there. Pop some berry. There you go. Oh, there he is. Little bush that lives right there. But you want to make this, you want to try to keep this as dark as you can. Okay, pretty much, just like that. I'm going to get the fan brush, a little bit more in that brown that we had. How about we just come over here and just work our way in a little path. That way we can come down and look at the tree. Just rub it in. Get all these different colors on here working away. So you have a nice path right there. Take a little bit of that dark color that we just had, those greens, tap back into it, and then you just want to clean up its foots of the path. Just work some of this down right onto the path. It pushes the path right back into the distance. Just like that. Just like that. It's really important just to follow the lay of the land and build how the land flows around this tree and in this background. And I'll tell you what. Tap. We're just going to throw something right about there. I like to take something like this, a little bit there. I'm just going to accent these. Throw a little bit of accent on these things. I think they don't need it. They should be left out. Some of these, pretty. You just take a fan brush and just pop, 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 pop. And you can get a little bit of grassy note right there. Clean up the foots right there. And then you can just get darker and darker as it comes. But some of these, they're just really pretty. There you go. Perfect. Okay, but right now I'm going to go into a little bit of a brown on each side and just kind of yep, I just did that. Just completely ruined the paint. And a little foot right there. There you go. There. There's a nice little tree. Again, take this, clean up the side of it. Just highlight the side. That's to the, a little bit more to the sun. Of course, if you're going to highlight the one side, you're going to kind of darken the other. And these are real fun ones to do with your knife, because when they dry, then you can actually feel them when they dry. You can actually just take your knife like this, with some dark color, and just walk it up, walk it up, walk it up, like that. Absolutely. Just like that. Just give it some bark. And you'll feel that bark when it dries. It'll stay malleable like that. You got a little bit of that light on this side just to wrap it around, just because, so why not? It's our painting, right? We can do what we want with it. Oh, boom. A little bit more. Ran out. Right up. I mean, that goes right up in the sky. Okay? Now with that, let's jump ahead, or reverse, I guess, a little bit. Let's come over here before we get too crazy, because I just did that. I just got a little crazy. Let's get right back into those dark, dark colors. And how about we just start tapping down, huh? Before we go too crazy. Let's get all these beautiful green leaves on this tree. Yeah, there. Which is beautiful. And always keep it nice and dark, because if you get too light, you'll ruin that kind of vision of the light behind you. So, nice and dark, 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 dark. Get some big limbs on this old tree. Kind of hangs down everywhere. Old hanging tree. All right, there. Now with that one, I don't know. Maybe this one's had a hard life. I'm not sure. Let me just take a little bit of that brown that we had going on, a little bit of paint thinner in it. See if we can get it nice and thin. Then we can just come over here and there's one. Make those noises. It helps. It does. It helps. Oh, that one goes right over our our tree that we made. And that'll push that tree that we just did back. Back. And that's the whole point, pushing it back. Let's move our little crazy branch that we just made. Right? Oh, that one broke. That one broke. He goes down. He got snapped right there. He just fell down. So, all right. Here's him. There we go. He just broke. He just kind of hangs there. There, see? That. And not all all branches go from one side to the other. Sometimes they start here, they wrap around, and they come over. Sometimes they start here and they come out that way. Gives your tree a little bit more character. If you put them all one side and the other and that's it, looks like somebody took a big axe and cut all your branches off. You don't want that. So now we're just gonna come over here and define his little foots. And I'd say we got a whole painting right there. So yeah, I'm just kind of looking at what we got going on, seeing what I don't like, what I do like. I mean, you can always come in here and have a little bit of a changey-wangey, that kind of thing, or manipulation. Again, we run out of paint, like we do, because I do that all the time. Run out of paint now and again, so probably the only thing I'd like to do real quick, no big deal, is probably, before I say goodbye, over here, a little bit of blue, right that, just touch up a little bit of these, so I know they're nice and touched up. Again, just make sure these are nice and touched up. And just fade them down into nothing. Just can't tell. Sun's so dang bright you can't tell anything. And then yeah, I think that's it. Pretty much. Well, there you go. Well, this has been a little bit of a painting seminar not seminar, just painting with Paul Romali or painting with PABrewNews here. You can. It's so dark here, so I don't want to put too much definition, but if you had a creek coming through here, I did a painting a while ago with a creek just like this, with a creek running through, and there was rocks, and then it gets real nice and dark, but the water's pretty nice. You can do a couple different things here. Yeah, you can do little things, but make sure that you kind of keep the foreground as dark as you can without being too obscure, because then if you don't, it'll ruin the back effect. Because the backlighting on this is just makes these kind of pictures really nice for me. So let me just come over here, and I'll just bring the tripod with me so you can get a closer look without me in the way of the painting we just did. I hit the wrong goddamn button, of course. Tried to get through this without swearing, but that didn't work. And here it is. This is the painting we just got done doing today. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and probably get back to you once a week or whatever you guys want from me, and try to do what we can. So I guess this is my time to sit down back on the bench and say my final goodbyes. Here we go. This has been the painting we just did. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed it. It's very simple. It's a simple painting. Thank you very much, Drunken One. It's a very simple painting. I think all you guys can really get behind this one and get to go. And I think a lot of you guys would, all you guys would just nail it. It's just it's a fun little painting. I think everybody could do it. Hopefully my video was somewhat informative, even though I can't do a lot of the different camera shots and stuff to show you exactly what I'm doing. But it's just playing. It's playing colors. It's playing light and dark. And that's the name of the game. You have to play the light and dark gimmick. That's what it is. You're telling a story with light and dark. So, well, it was a lot of talking. So anyway, this has been Paul from PABrewNews with painting with PABrewNews, episode 2. So I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I'll definitely, I don't know if I can look at the comments right now. Show in live chat. Well, apparently you can see them in live chat, but you can't see them now. So that's fantastic. So I can't see what anybody says. I know Nizzy's there, so hi, how you doing, Nizzy? Hope you're doing good. Drunken One, cheers to you, brother. I don't know, I wasn't sure if Craig just popped in or not. But this has been Paul from PABrewNews signing out. And we did this one in under a half an hour. If you minus all the BS bullshit talking that I did. So this is a proper Bob Ross moment with PABrewNews. So this has been Paul from PABrewNews. Cheers. Have a good day.